as we're coming up to the end of the year, I wanted to do a quick reflection video in which I chat about how my past year has been, both in terms of my reading, my channel, and my personal life. I won't go into too much detail, obviously. I'm not entirely sure you want to know all of that, but I did create a goals video at the beginning of this year. My goals were split up into reading, channel, and life goals. So we'll have a chat about how my goals went. I also want to talk about my most anticipated releases for 2024 and whether or not I read them. Then I was thinking I'd also go into a quick stats part of the video, but I'm not going to go into too much because I want to do a whole stats video in January once everything is finalised, because obviously we've still got a few days left of the year. So I think let's start off with my most anticipated releases, and I'll talk through the ones that I read and whether they held up, and then which ones I'm still looking forward to reading, and then the releases that I've just lost interest in. I don't think there are many of those, but let's go through the list together. So from my list of about 41 books, I have read 10 of the new releases that I listed. 40 was obviously a very ambitious number. I didn't expect to get to all of those. So I'm quite happy with 10, to be honest. And it looks like from the ones that I did read, most of them were pretty decent. So the ones that I read were Only If You're Lucky, which I gave 4 stars, Voyage of the Damned, which I DNF'd. No One Can Know, which I think I gave 3.5 stars. That's by Kate Alice Marshall, who is one of my all-time favourite authors, and this was not the best book of hers. House of Flame and Shadow, which was a complete train wreck. So I gave that one 2 stars. The Women, which I gave 4 stars. The Reappearance of Rachel Price, which is 4 stars. Just for the Summer, 5 stars, absolute favourite. Ministry of Time, 1 star. Laura Olympus, 4 stars. And Somewhere Beyond the Sea also got 4 stars. So overall, not a bad spread. I don't think this could have possibly gone any better for me. I should probably expect some duds in my reading at this point, and there are only a few, so I'm happy with that. And then there were obviously 30 or so books that I didn't get to. There are a couple that I've completely lost interest in, such as To Cage a God. I don't really want to read that. Wandering Stars, I've still not read There, which is the first book in this companion series, so I don't know if I'll get to Wandering Stars anytime soon. And the last one, I am not too keen on that one anymore, just because I've not really heard much about it. Obviously, if you've read that and you've enjoyed it, let me know and maybe I can change my mind again. But otherwise, all of the other books I am still interested in. So the ones I would really love to prioritise, I've already spoken about A Fate Inked in Blood, which I'll be reading in January. I'd really love to read The Great Divide and also The Haunting of Velkwood. Both of those sound really good to me. Floating Hotel is another one that I'd like to prioritise in the new year, and I've got that one on the shelf behind me. I've got Where Sleeping Girls Lie and The Weavers of Alamaxa out from the library, so I'll be reading those soon, as well as The Last Blood cover, actually. Ghost Station, I've pre-ordered the paperback because the hardback is super expensive in the UK, so I'm waiting until that comes out in paperback in, I think, March, and then I'll try to read it right away. I've not heard the best things about that one, but because I do really enjoy space horror, and I know that I've enjoyed S.A. Barnes's book before, which was called, what was it called? Dead Space. Dead Silence. I've still got some hope for this one, even if it's not getting the best reviews. And then I'd also really like to read Lost Ark Dreaming, The Mercy of Gods, and Wisteria. So yeah, not a bad selection. I think I did quite well with my most anticipated releases in 2024 because I read quite a few of them, and then I'm also still interested in most of them, so I feel like I chose well at the beginning of the year. Tell me in the comments below if you have prioritised your most anticipated books, or if you've kind of left them to just sit there and gather dust. I'd love to know what's going on with yours. So before I talk about my goals in more depth from 2024, I'd like to just quickly talk about some of my statistics because it's kind of related to my reading goals. For example, my first reading goal is always read 10 books because then I don't have any pressure to kind of keep upping the numbers. And as of right now, I've read 116. This number might change when I do my stats video because there's a chance I might read something else, even though I'm in a bit of a slump this month. So 116 isn't too bad. It's the lowest amount that I've read since I think 2018. But I've had a lot going on this year and I've had a few dud months, like July. I think I only read 6 books, 4 books even. I only read 4 books in July, which is very unlike me, 5 in August, because those were really tough months, and then only 4 in December because I've been focusing on YouTube. I'll go into more detail obviously in my stats video, but I just wanted to mention that this is my lowest reading year in quite a while. However, my average rating is 3.9, which is I think the highest it's ever been. It's nearly 4. That's nearly a 4-star rating on average, which is incredible. I don't particularly feel like I'm focusing on quality over quantity. I just feel like I'm picking up better books and I'm, as I've already said, putting down books that I'm no longer interested in. If I make it 10 pages in, I just DNF it if I'm not liking it. So I wouldn't say I'm being picky with my reading, but I'm just being a bit more sensible and spending my free time on better stuff, which I appreciate because I've really not had much free time this year. My ebook reading and audiobook reading has gone up slightly, so I don't know if that has really helped with my reading or if it's kind of made it worse, no idea. I'm still not reading many self-published books, but that wasn't really a goal of mine, so that's okay. And my Reading Around the World challenge has been, oh, I'm not going to say anything, you'll see in my stats video how that's gone. I won't say anything more about that. Only other stat that I wanted to particularly mention right now was my non-fiction goal, because I said that I wanted to read 12 non-fiction books and I've only read 5, so that's not amazing. Part of this is because I tend to listen to non-fiction on audio, and I've not listened to loads of audiobooks in the past year. Because I don't really have to commute too much anymore, and I listen to them typically more on my commute. But I am starting to listen to them more while I'm running, so I think I can probably improve on that next year. I do have a whole non-fiction shelf, which is just like up there, so I'd really like to get through some of those. I've got a mixture of like memoirs and different world history, like history of different countries. Some really interesting stuff up there that I would like to focus on. And then I also said that I wanted to finish 12 series, I think it was, and I finished 8, so not too bad. I didn't meet my goal, but that's not horrendous. I have started a lot of series, but again, I'll talk about that in my stats video. So my favourites out of the ones that I have finished were probably the Legends and Lattes series, Rolling in the Deep, and Something is Killing the Children. I would say those were my favourites out of all of those. I'm trying to see what the other ones were, and I think some of those might have been DNFs, which is really unfortunate. Oh, and The Naturals. The Naturals was also really good. So in terms of my other reading goals, I said that I wanted to read down my physical TBR, and I've not done that at all. It has once again increased. So in the new year, I'll be doing a video series that I've been working on for quite a while, but I keep scrapping the first video in it because I just don't feel, you know, I'm terrible at vlogging, and part of this series is going to, or was going to, include some vlogging, but now I'm thinking I'll just do a sit down after I finish each book rather than vlogging it, because I'm not good at vlogging updates, so I just need to like change this a little bit to suit me. So I'm going to be working on that in the new year because I didn't read down my physical TBR at all. I think I bought an extra like 70 books or something, which was not good. I did say that I wanted to stop going charity book shopping so much because I was going kind of monthly in 2023, and I have managed that. To be fair, I have only gone charity book shopping a handful of times. Sometimes I'll pop into the charity shop at lunchtime because there are quite a few near my house, but I've been very mindful about what I've been picking up from there. So they've mainly been books that have been on my wish list for a long time, and if I find them for £1, I'll grab them. But otherwise, I'm not really picking up like random books that I've never heard of that might sound good, or ones that I've vaguely heard of like years ago. I've been doing a lot better with that. I did at the beginning of the year set myself I don't really know what you'd call it. I said that I would give myself £1 to spend for every book that I read, and I kept up with that really well for the first month, and I really enjoyed doing it. But I didn't continue, so I want to do that again in the new year and maybe tweak the rules a little bit. I can't remember what my rules are exactly. What I said I would do is I would focus on backlist books, 2024 books that I've hauled. I would give myself some money for those, and NetGalley books. So I'm thinking I could do that again, but maybe tweak the numbers a bit. I also stopped tracking the books that I was bringing in by April, so I probably need to be better at doing that. I said that I wanted to increase my NetGalley score from 49% to 65%, and I'm fairly sure it's still at 49%, to be honest. I've not really been reading many NetGalley books, but I've also not been requesting as many either. I've requested a few, but I have also been reading a few as well, so it's kind of just balanced itself out. And then I also said that I wanted to participate in more readathons, and I've not really been doing that, to be honest, mainly because of time. I didn't even do his 24-hour readathon in October because, again, time constraints. I'd really love to though. I really want to get more involved in community events and things, so I'd love to do that. I said that I wanted to host more reading sprints, and I haven't really done that. I started again in January, and then just everything got away from me, so it didn't continue, but I'd like to do that again. I've stopped using StreamYard now because they tried charging me like insane amounts of money each month. They really ramped up their prices, and so I've downloaded OBS and I've had a bit of a play around with it, but I've not really done much with it. So once I'm back from my holiday, I'll probably try to work that out and see what I can do. I said I wanted to post more review videos. Oh, sorry, we're on to channel goals now, I forgot to mention. And I've not done that. I would like to, as always, but I didn't do it in 2024. I did say that I wanted to vlog more and also recap books more consistently, and I think I've done both of those, even though like vlogging more is a bit of a stretch, because by doing, I think, like 2 vlogs, that was more than I did in 2023. So I've ticked it off just to make myself feel better, but it's not really what I wanted. And then recapping books consistently, I did do that. I would like to do it even more in the new year. I've spoken about this already because I really love recapping books on video. I think it's a lot of fun. So I'd like to continue with that on my channel. I'm really happy with how it went in 2024 because those recap videos are my most viewed videos and they get the most comments. So obviously people enjoy them. And then my final channel goal was get monetized, and I thought this was a bit of a stretch goal, but then my recaps got so much watch time that I was able to be monetized. And so far this year I've made about £300 from Booktube, which isn't too bad, you know. I obviously have a full-time job, so I'm never going to become a full-time booktuber, but it's quite nice getting 80 quid every now and then. With that money I bought this new camera and I'm really happy with it. I've bought a Sony, I can't remember the make of it, to be honest. It's one of their like vlogging cameras, and I think I'm enjoying it more than my G7X because I like that you can plug in another microphone, and I like that it comes with a little like wind dead cat thing, I think it's cool. So I'm really pleased that the money that came in from Booktube helped me pay for this, even though this was a bit more expensive than the £300 that I made. That's very exciting for me. I was monetized years and years ago, as I've already said a few times, and then I got kicked out of the program and now I'm back again. So YouTube just can't get rid of me. And then for my life goals, just really quickly, I had 3 main life goals by the looks of it. The first one was save for my big wedding party. I'm still doing that. That's gone okay so far. I would have liked to have saved more, but it's not that we're like struggling or anything. It's just that we also had to save for Australia, which is another one of my goals for 2024, but we stopped saving for that, I think, in like September. We met our goal, which was really good because now we can just focus on saving for the wedding. Another goal was to finish decorating the porch extension, and I didn't touch the porch, to be honest. I just did not have the time, energy, motivation. So hopefully that will be happening in the new year. I think after the wedding we'll probably save up and pay someone to decorate that, and also our corridor and landing at the same time, because we just never get around to it and it stresses me out, to be honest. So we'll save some money. It might take a few months and then we'll pay someone to do it for us, because I'm really tired of having this bright white porch, and it's really difficult when you've got a dog who often gets muddy. It's just I keep putting it off. I just don't want to do it myself. So that's it for like all my statistics and goals and stuff. As a whole, I think 2024 was actually an alright year. It was very tiring and very stressful. I feel like I've aged like 5 years in one go, but hopefully 2025 will calm down a bit. We didn't really do much in 2024. We obviously had the puppy. We were getting used to having him. And then my work has been stressful. At the beginning of the year, I was dealing with some difficult conversations, and then part of my department migrated into a different part of the company, so I was no longer managing them. And then the part of my department that I was still in went through a full restructure, and that was in like May, June time. And so I got a whole brand new team of people to manage. And then in August, September time, I started helping another little section of my department move to a different part of the department to go and report to someone else. So it was a lot of like shifting things around at work, but I'm finally settled with my team, with a group of line managers now, which I didn't have really before. There was one other person reporting to my manager with me, but now there's a team of 7 of us, which is really nice because it means that we can like share the load if we're able to. And I've been getting to know my new team. I already knew these people anyway, most of them, but it's been nice working more directly with them and having regular catch-ups and stuff. I do really enjoy the people management stuff that I do. It's more all of the changes and things that tire me out because it's just constant at the moment. In the new year, we are going through more of an integration, but our structure should be pretty stable now. And I hopefully won't have to do any more like shifting around or anything, which would be good. I can just focus on this integration. Work-wise, I think things will calm down. That does feel strange to say, knowing that integration is coming, but I shouldn't have to have too many more difficult conversations and all of that stuff. So yeah, I'm feeling quite good about that and optimistic. We've obviously got the wedding to save for, so what other stuff did I do in 2024? I kept up my fitness regularly. Or consistently. That was really good. I didn't know whether to mention this or not, but we got quite stressed at the end of the year because the boot camp that we go to changed its terms and stuff and raised its prices. It literally doubled its price. So that stressed us out a lot, especially because we're trying to save a lot of money. So we're currently considering what to do with that and whether we want to go somewhere else. But we'll wait until after Australia for that. I think we want to try a few more places around the town that we live in to see what works for us, because we do really enjoy the boot camp classes and things. I don't think it's worth the money that we're paying for it at the moment, especially when we're trying to save so much. But we can afford it, but I'd rather be saving the money, I think. Otherwise, not loads happened. We had our first wedding anniversary and we went to the Peak District. I went on a work trip to Sheffield, which I've never done before. I genuinely think that's about it. The year was mainly taken up with work. Otherwise, the cats are doing well. Saxon is doing really well as well. Yeah, no complaints really, other than being really freaking tired at the end of this year. And that tiredness is just kind of why I've not been reading as much, because there's just been so much taking up all of my energy. So I think in the new year, it would be nice to, you know, go out and do more stuff, do more experiences, go to some different places. But obviously first, we need to get through Christmas. You should let me know in the comments how your 2024 has been. I know I haven't really spoken about like political stuff. I'm quite happy to on my channel. It's just I don't really want to acknowledge it because I'm pretending it's not happening. Most of it anyway. Some political stuff did happen. We did kick the Tories out, so that was good. So yeah, I think 2024 was like an alright year. I would give it 3 stars as a whole. I think getting Saxon was the highlight for me, and also keeping up the fitness, because I do feel a lot fitter and stronger now, ready to start working towards my half marathon in the new year. So yeah, a 3-star year, not too bad, but pretty meh, and I probably won't remember it in 10 years. Tell me how you would rate your year of 2024 in the comments below. I'd love to know your rating. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video, and then you have my bookshelf tour to look forward to, and then one more video, and then I'm done with Bookmas. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye!